Hey, my name is Brandy. Um, I woke up from a dream this morning. It was about 5:30, 6 o'clock when I woke up. I think, about, like probably about 6:30. Anyway, it don't matter. All right, I had this dream, and it was something. In my dream, I'm in a room, and it's like I'm watching a movie, and I see these two famous people. It was a famous man and a famous woman that I've seen before. Not too popular, but I've seen them before. And they always remind me, they always resembled each other for some reason. But anyway, so I see them, and in my dream, I'm watching them talk to each other. And then all of a sudden, they start going down a walk, down the sidewalk. So I'm just, in your dream, you're just there. And so I'm watching them walk. And next thing I know, he starts strangling her. I mean, and I see her trying, I couldn't do anything, just watch. And so I'm sitting there and I'm watching him strangle her, and I see like her gasping for air, and she closed her eyes and she falls back, and I looked down, and she opened her eyes back up, and she had these big deep bruises around her neck. And she started, like, all of a sudden there's this crumbled building. When I looked down to see where she had fallen at, there was this crumbled building, and she had just slid up underneath it. And then up underneath there was this naked man down there, and he had like sores all over his whole body. And she was just like, "Save me, help me." Well, next thing you know, the same actor man who just tried to kill this actress woman, he has a knife, and he starts stabbing the dude up underneath there. He's trying to hold the girl and, like, keep her away from him. And he's not dying. He's being stabbed, and he's not dying. And then all of a sudden I take off. Like, I turn around to start getting away from that, because it scared me that he was going to come after me. And all of a sudden I'm looking around, and there's no buildings. Like, there's buildings, but just imagine just the biggest earthquake in the world, and just seeing all these crumbled buildings that just like half gone. Like, it's just, like New York City. Imagine New York City have a big old earthquake, and all of a sudden, like, half the buildings, or half the top of the buildings, just crumbled. They were just disappeared. And all of a sudden, I see these like half naked girls, and they were like, I know it sounds weird, but this is what my dream was. It freaked me out when I woke up. There was these girls, and they were like in these stripper, like, porn uniforms with whips, and they were hitting people. And in my dream, I figured out later, like, they were the authority, and they were sitting there and making people. I know this sounds weird, so if any kids are listening, I'm trying to go to PG this, but they were making them do the birds and the bees. Okay, you can just go from there in your head. All right, and so I'm confused, and I'm like, what's going on? And all of a sudden, in the building, I saw this the building just crumble. All right, and then I see people getting trampled up underneath it, and they're broken. Their body is broken, but they're not dying. And I'm confused, honestly, in my dreams. So I start trying to get away from that area, because the ladies were sitting there, and there was men with them too, and they were making people just do whatever they wanted to do. And I was seeing, like, people just, I mean, they look terrible. They look like they just been through complete physical hell, but they wasn't dying. Okay, and so then I try to get away, and I walk into a room, and I see a mother sitting there with her kid. All right, and she's feeding him bolts, like screws and stuff. She's feeding it to him, and he's eating it. And I'm just like, "What are you doing? Why are you feeding him that?" And she was like, "Because there's no food, and there's no water, and there's no milk." And I looked in the fridge, and the only thing I saw in this cup was this jelly looking white stuff. And she says, "We have to use that." Okay. So anyway, I'm just, like I said, this is like confusing the mess out of me. And all of a sudden, I see something on her table, like a bowl, and they're like beautiful, like, rocks, but they were shaped in the crosses. And I said, "What is this?" She was like, "There's no Bibles." And she's like, "There's no more Bibles. That's all I had." And I carved it in there. And when I was looking at the cross, and I was sitting there and seeing, like, Romans 7, I was squinching just to kind of read it to see what it was, and what she had carved in there. And then that's when I woke up. Now, I'm a very Christian person. I love the Lord. I pray every single day. There's not a day I go by when I don't wake up and I thank God for another clean, free, sober day. And I tell you why, because I could have died on I overdosed twice in 2 days a couple years ago. And I found God shortly after that. I prayed. My mom made me say this prayer. And ever since she made me say it, I was just sort of like, you need God to help you with your life. I said, Mama, they ain't no God. I was just like, because all the mess I've been through, where was he at? You know, going through addiction and everything. And she was like, don't you talk like that, blasphemy, you know. And I was just, whatever. I didn't want to hear it, you know, because I was just coming off drugs. And she told me, she was like, say this prayer, you better ask him for help. And I was just like, all right, I will when I go to bed. She's like, she made me say it. She was just like, no, you have to say it. And I'm a visual person. So she was like, Brenda, your life is like a puzzle piece, like a big picture puzzle. You're trying to put the pieces in there to make a picture, and you're screwing it up. She's like, you need God to put your life together. That's the only way you're going to be able to change. And honestly, I just didn't want to hear it. So, but she made me say it. She was like, no, you're going to say this prayer. And the prayer pretty much was Jesus Christ, please, Heavenly Father, forgive me of my sins. Please take the picture of the puzzle of my life, and put it together for me, because I don't know what I'm doing down here. And then all of a sudden, that was about a year and a half ago. And that next day, I just started getting this big curiosity for the Bible. All right. Well, anyway, I'm rambling, but that's what led me to Christ. And there is a God. I've seen prayer work. I have seen many beautiful things come from me praying and just having my relationship with God. I talk to God more than I talk to anybody else. I pray every day. Every day I'm terrified to go to sleep at night now without asking him for forgiveness. I'm terrified of what if tomorrow is my last day, you know? And I'm not perfect. I've made some bad decisions. But anyway, so that weird dream, when I woke up this morning, I really believe, you know, it was God showing me, like, you don't want to be left down here when I come. Because when I leave, this is what it's going to be. And just think, if there's no buildings, if all the buildings crumble when God comes, who's going to be holding the prisoners? The prisoners will be roaming around. If you're not taken when God comes to get you, it's going to be too late. And people will be trying to kill you, and you won't die, because it says in the Bible there will be no more death at all. And it says that in Revelations. Once he comes, and if you're left down here, you're not going to die. You're going to want to die. People are going to be trying to stab you, and then all that crazy stuff I saw in my dream, you can't get away from it. And it's going to be too late, because he's not going to listen to us. So it scared the hell out of me, I ain't gonna lie. It really woke me up this morning with a big just boom, 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 my heart beating. You know, so please, I'm telling you, if anybody hears this, I hope not to freak you out, but it freaked me out, and maybe you need to be freaked out sometime. And the last thing I'm going to say is, right after I said that prayer my mama told me to say, shortly after that, I had this dream where, because I'm sure all young people feel the same way like I do. Getting older, you're going to start looking older, you know. And so that's my deep thing, is just like, God, I want to get wrinkly and look like the old people in the nursing home. So that's, God knows that's something I think about, you know. So in my dream, I was looking at myself just like I see my face on this phone. Half of my face was nice and new and just looked like me, all right, like I do now. But the other side was just all just puffed up. Now, this is scary. It's gross too, but you gotta understand this. I wouldn't be saying I can't make this mess up. My eyeball, all of a sudden, my face starts puffing up, and my eyeball falls out the socket, comes down my cheek, and it pops out my cheek, and all the swollenness on my face, the eyeball started wiggling, and all this crap just started liquid, nasty. Just, oh God, it's just still impact me to this day. I'm over here stuttering because it's still freaking me out. And then my eyeball went back up in its socket, and it kept doing that over and over, over and over. And I woke up, my damn heart pounding, man. It scared the hell out of me. And to me, I don't care if anybody believes me or not, but I really believe that was God telling me, if you don't change your ways, this is what your hell is going to be like. And after that, that's when I quit doing drugs. I've been clean for going on 2 years now. You know, I have struggled with alcohol. That dream I had last night is going to make me really think now every time I drink one. that this could happen to me. So I'm telling you, it's just, and I want to know if anybody else is having these crazy dreams, and God is real. And people who don't believe you're blind, you need to ask God to help take the scales off your eyes, because I see things clearer now. I read people better. Like if somebody's lying to me, I see right through them. I'm like, you lying to me. Everybody lies, do little white lies, sometimes. Oh, you're not big. You're not, oh, that looks good on you, when it really don't. I mean, everybody lies in some way. But, it's the big lies. It's just that leads up, little tiny lies here and there that will lead up to the big lie. And it's a headache. Anyway, I'm about to have a headache now just talking about this and reminiscing about this crazy mess. And these are my memories I have in my head, these dreams that I have. So anyway, I hope anybody listening will just please just ask God for help. Ask him for help, because he will show you things and allow you to feel things you've never felt. I felt the Holy Spirit, and I'm telling you, God, it was the best feeling ever. I've been searching for that feeling ever since. I'm like, God, just show me that feeling. Just let me feel it one more time, because it was amazing. And anyway, I don't want to be too long on here, but I'll do another video and talk to you about some of the prayers that I saw and witnessed, and some of the way the Holy Spirit, way I felt it that night. And it was just, it was the best feeling. I mean, it felt like love, peace, happiness, laughter. Every time that I've loved or felt happy or laughing, and just great feelings. It's like all those feelings I've had my whole life just hit me at that one moment all of a sudden. And I know it was because I started crying and everything. I was reading the Bible at midnight to my mother. We had woken up, and all of a sudden I just started crying uncontrollably. And I was just like, oh my God, what's going on? I was just like, I feel amazing. And it was very short. It only lasted for maybe like a minute or two. I know the whole time I was feeling, I was like, God, please don't take this feeling away. I love this feeling. And so if that's what heaven feels like, and he just giving me a taste of it, I want it. I want it so bad. So anyway, and we'll get off here. And I hope anybody listening, I hope you know that God is real. And please, I'm begging you, please start praying to God and asking him to help you, because he will. He'll guide you. And it's going to be a great journey for you too, because my life has changed completely now. So thank you very much. God bless everybody.